What's going on? Whoa, hang on. Alright, what about now? Is right now okay now? No, it's... Alright, what about now? Is right now okay now? Alright, sweet, it is. Never mind. So, back to what I was saying before my freaking internet wants to take a poop. Yeah. Okay, I just had to check my audio one more time. Back to what I was saying before, I was rudely pooped on by my internet. I forgot what I was saying, but yeah, so pretty much what I was trying to say is that in my earlier live stream that drifting, all it is just a lot of practice and a lot of patience, a lot of practice, and a lot of just pretty much trying to do a bunch of wild stuff, you know? I'll start from the very beginning, you know, because this is also going to be going up on YouTube, so I'll start from the very beginning that, what you want to do is find a car that you think is good. So you can use a BMW, Lexus, Chevy, what else? You can also use, cars like, a Lexus, Toyota, or you can use Nissan. You can use any of those brand name cars. And if you want to be specific about it, I believe for Nissan it's the S chassis, so like the 240s, S13s, S14s, S15s. You know, and you can also use the GTR. The GTR is actually pretty good at drifting, as I will say that. So you can also use the GTR as well. But other than that, and then Toyota, you can use the GT86. Subaru, you can use the BRZ. You can use any car in the game and drift. But yeah. So make sure that your drift car is a rear-wheel drive car. And make sure that it is bone stock. My car is not bone stock because I developed it. I slowly built it up as as my style of drifting became higher and higher. Yeah. So you start off with a bone stock car, and some people do circles, some people do figure eights. I would recommend that you either do circles or figure eights first. So pretty much, I'm gonna try to do it without the thing. So this is basically a figure eight. You're just doing a 8 pretty much, and that's all to it, to a figure 8. See, that's pretty much it, doing a figure 8. Or you can do donuts. You can do the good way, or you can do my way. This is the good way if traffic wants to not. Actually, hang on. Let's do this at the parking lot real quick. We'll do this at the parking lot real quick. Do this at the parking lot. Hang on. We'll do this at the parking lot. So, for figure eights, you can do pretty much where these two light poles are. So it'll look something like this. And the figure eights will teach you about throttle control, you know, and whatnot, when to transition and whatnot. Donuts, you can do donuts as well. Donuts and also can also help you. Donuts really do help you also with throttle control and teaches you throttle control, what you can expect from drifting and whatnot. And this is the good way to do it, and you can also do my way, which is just basically doing this the entire time. This is pretty much doing this the entire time. She's basically just doing that the entire time, and then from there you can counter steer, and then you can start building your own and whatnot, and there you go. That's pretty much it. You can start off by doing those, and as you get more and more used to it, you can start doing a bigger figure eight, which is this. Which is pretty much in the parking lot. I'd recommend you start in the parking lot to kind of get a feel for drifting, and then as you get out there, you can do street drifting. And street drifting, I would recommend that you can also do. You know, you can also go out in the streets and do drifting. That's how I started. I didn't start off doing it in the parking lot. I only recommend doing it in the parking lot because of the closed environment. Yeah. So that's how you can start drifting. You know, you just get a bone stock car, and do not do any mods to it until you feel that you're getting better. So as you get better, you can slowly start putting on those mods in the car, and after that, you know, as it starts clicking and clicking and clicking, you can also develop your own style. You can also develop your own tune as well. That's how I started off too. That's how I ended up with the tune on this car too. I started it just from basically drifting around, and then from there I started developing my own tune, seeing what works, see what doesn't work. And what I found out is that I love high-speed drifting. High-speed drifting, I love that way more than I do holding a fucking angle. I really do. Excuse my language, but that's just how I feel. So this is how I run my tune. I run 15, 18, 15 in the front, 18 in the rears. And before I go into my gearings, this is my camber. -3 in the front and -1 in the back. -1 in the back because I love to have as much grip as possible in the back. Sometimes I use 0 or -0.5. You know, give me some type of stabilization or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, laddie. But yeah, sometimes I use 0, sometimes I use -0.5, sometimes I use -0.1. -1. Toe, I don't really pay attention too much because I don't really care for toe. Angle caster, just max that puppy out if you want. Yeah, actually, I would recommend you max it out. 7. Anti-roll bars. Stiffer front means more grip to the rear. Stiffer rear means more grip to the front. Basically, for the springs, for the anti-roll bars, the springs, and the dampening. I have stiffer fronts and I have softer rears to kind of like, I don't know what you call it. It's just me, my personal preference. Springs is also a personal preference. I would recommend you play around with the springs, the front and the rears, and the right height. You just slam that puppy and you'll be okay. Dampening, again, is also a personal preference. This is how I run it. I pretty much use the drag tune, but it's kind of like a modified drag tune. And usually I used to run it like this, 10-5, 10-5. It's kind of like pretty much a backwards drag tune for the rebound stiffness. It's pretty much a backwards drag tune. And then, but now I've been running it like this because I love it. I love the snapbacks. Whenever I go to drift a turn, I really do like that. So, dampening, aero, don't really care too much about. Brakes, don't really care too much about either. And yeah, you pretty much just lock the diff. Okay, but yeah, that's pretty. Drifting is the tune. That's what I just gave you guys, is a bass tune. That's all I really did, just give you a bass tune. Gearings, this is my gearings as well. Here's my gearings. This is pretty much what I use for a mild tune. I just kind of tweaked it around just a smidge. Yeah. Um, but what was I saying? But yeah, drifting. Honestly, it's something that um you develop on your own. You can also have somebody help you out. Critique you and whatnot. But for the most part, drifting is something that can't really be explained. It's more of just doing, getting a feel for the car. Somebody. It's hard to explain. For me, it's hard to explain what drifting is. I'd rather go out there and just drift because I'd love it if you because that's how I learned. I just went out and did it. I just did drifting. That's how I learned, and then I searched up videos on how to be better and stuff like that. Like, see how I drift? I just basically don't give a shit. That's how I drift. I basically don't give a rat's ass. See, I literally just don't give a rat's ass about anything. That's my style of drifting. We just fucking smash mouth, freaking high speed drifting. That's how my style is. I mean, everybody has a different type of style, but don't. That's another thing I want to say, that everybody has a different style of drifting. For me, it's of course high speed drifting. Everybody else, some people and most people that I've run into in drift lobbies and practices and whatnot, and events and whatnot, are I've run into a lot of them where they mostly talk so much about angle. All of them say you want to hold as much angle as you can. To me, that's just a lot of horse shit, because if I can keep up with you without holding next to no angle, then that's telling something. Because that means it doesn't matter about it doesn't matter about the tune. It's more of the drive. It's more of the person. If there's somebody out there who loves to hold more angle, then that's fine. If there's somebody else that loves to go fast around corners, that's also fine too. That's how I see it. There is no correct or incorrect style to drifting. It's just a matter of practice and building upon that skill that you have. And instead of course judging people about how they should have this, or they should have how their tune should be this, or this tune should be that. And also another thing about people sharing tunes, that just defeats the purpose of drifting, of learning how to drift. If you give somebody their drifting tune, that's cool for you guys. I don't really care too much. But to me, how I learned is I developed the tune myself. I developed my own tune from drifting, so that's why I'm really against people sharing tunes. I don't really care if you guys really do. That's up to you guys. I don't really care, but I'm against it because I learned old school way instead of and I didn't. And also a thing too is that I didn't also have somebody help me out, because at the time most of my actually nearly all of my friends never played this. So that's how I learned how to do drifting. I drifted by myself, and then I've met some cool people along the way. They taught me the ins and outs of drifting. But in overall, if you bring it into also real life too, that drifting is something that you cannot explain. It's something that you just do. To me, that's how I view drifting. There is no right or wrong answer to how to drift. There is only a answer. Not a right or wrong answer, but a answer. So yeah, that's pretty much my rant for that. Yeah, there is no right or wrong answer, yeah, hang on, let me read the chat. I will hold an open drift lobby, but let me just finish this up first, and then I'll do that. for everybody that's wanting to do that. I will hold it. You can add my gamer tag right here. This is my gamer tag. You guys can go ahead and add that real quick. You guys can pause the stream or whatever, and you can just go ahead and add me, and then I'll set up an open lobby. But I felt like doing this video because I'm also gonna go put this back on YouTube. But yeah, pretty much, you know, hang on. There you go. Yeah, but yeah, you know, that's basically my tutorial of drifting. Basically, I can just show you how to do figure eights and whatnot, but it's more of a feel instead of having somebody to explain to you what drifting is. It's more of a feeling, you know. And that's how I learned too. I learned that by myself, you know. I learned how to drift all on my own. So yeah, that's how I learned how to drift. And then as I progressed, you know, I started evolving my style to where high-speed drifting was really my thing. Hang on, sorry about that. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is, you know. This is gonna be a short thing. This is also going up on YouTube and whatnot. But if you guys need, you know, more help and whatnot, you know, feel free to add my gamer tag. I don't know if it's gonna catch. I don't know if it's gonna catch on top of thing, but right there you can also add it. It's in the top left corner where my rank is. You can go ahead, add my gamer tag, and if you guys need any advice, any help, you know, I'm willing and free to do whatever. One thing to note, that if I'm playing another game other than Forza, then if I'm playing like Madden, then chances are I'm not going to be joining you or anything, because I do have my days where I just want to play by myself, and I also have days where I'm gonna be, you know, playing the Division with my friends. But if you ever need help, just message me, and if I'm playing another game, then don't worry, just message me, and from there we can talk it out, you know, see what you need, you know. But overall, all I can really say is that drifting is pretty much is something that you can't really explain. It's more of a feel. Some people will argue that, and I really could care less, but drifting is something that you get a feel for. It's something that can't really be explained. Like, people will say, oh, you know, they can use a Lightning McQueen reference, saying, oh, you go right to go left, you know, something like that, or you can use some other type of reference or whatever. But in actuality, drifting is something that you get a feel, something that can't really be explained. That's how you know, that's how I was, you know, because I saw myself how to drift, so that's how my skill came about. You know, I just taught myself how to drift. And then along the way I had some cool friends that I drifted with, and then I also did a lot of practicing myself too, and sure enough this is how I became a cool drifter. That came up with the Team Aggressive. It was basically a me and friends, wanting to whatchamacall. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here because I'm kind of concentrating. But pretty much Team Aggressive is a group of friends that are basically, that just love drifting and race. That basically just love racing in general. So yeah, but more of a, and everybody, it's more of a feeling, and everybody's gonna argue, oh, drifting is this, or drifting is that. To somebody who doesn't know drifting, and they're gonna think that, oh wow, that's the correct answer, but when they go to do it, it's actually not. That's why somebody doubt themselves and say, because at the end of the day, if I'm ever teaching, if somebody ever needs help, but I'm gonna be honest and straight up forward with you guys that drifting is something that you feel for instead of to me at least. I think that drifting is better explained by just doing it, and then from there you'll get a hang of it. But yeah, you guys can add tag. I will be holding a drift lobby, but just right now I figured I just wanted to make this video real quick. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little stream that was cut off. If any of you guys need any questions, feel free to message my gamer tag. I answer to any and all questions. Just give me some time to reply to them. If I'm ever in another game or I'm just flat out not replying at all, you'll get a reply. It just won't be an immediate reply. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this short stream, and I'll see y'all later.